to members of parliament that the House won't shield any lawmaker who break the law or engage in what he calls misconduct. Listen to him.
The report of attacks on a team from the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, a task force which we all know has been established to combat illegal mining activities in the country, is most worrying. Also worrying is the fact that the attack was allegedly incited by one of our own, the Member of Parliament for Asutifi North constituency, Honorable Ebenezer Kwekuado, who further ropes in a senior member of this House, Honorable Collins Dauda. While I'm yet to be fully briefed on the matter, I want to take this opportunity to condemn in no uncertain terms the attack on the team of security officers who have been assigned to help deal with the menace of Galamsey, which has to be dealt with robustly. I have therefore instructed the Office of the Clerk and the Legal Services Office to provide all the needed support to the investigation by the Ghana Police Service within the framework of the 1992 Constitution, the laws of this country, and the standing orders of the House.
So that was the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, speaking there. Now, we've been joined on the line by our Parliamentary Affairs correspondent, Kweku Asante, with some more details on this particular happening. Now, this started coming up over the weekend. A lot of people have spoken to this. The MP at the center of this particular development, the Asutifi North MP, and his colleague MP on the South have all spoken on this particular matter. The police have also issued a statement on this particular development. Let's try and bring in Kweku Asante, who is our man in Parliament, to give us some update. But let me run you through what the police have also said on this particular matter. Now, according to the police, the IGP has directed the Criminal Investigations Department, CID headquarters, to take over the investigations into the attack on the Director of Operations of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretary Naimos and his team, and they speak about details of that. I'll get you there, but let me take you to Parliament now. Kweku Asante is with us on the line. Kweku, the minority leader speaking on this particular development had a warning for his colleagues. What did he say?
Well, Bruce, according to Alexander Fenyo-Makin, it appears there is still a lot of partisan politics when it comes to the fight against illegal mining. His call to his colleagues on the floor is that they must see Galamsey as an existential threat to the lives and livelihoods of the Ghanaian people, and MPs and other persons must not be seen in a way that fuels illegal mining in their respective constituencies.
Mr. Speaker, can we, as political leaders, for once, agree to stay the partisan approach on this matter and deal with it and let our citizens know that this is a matter that affects the country and our own livelihoods? Perhaps the medical practitioners are not sharing with us the revealing reports in the various hospitals enough. So it's like business as usual. Mr. Speaker, I would wait for another day where we would discuss this matter in detail. But I would, by way of conclusion, say that the issue of Galamsey calls for action, collective, not an NDC MPP affair, but a Ghana affair, so that it doesn't become like who you go to the area the people are mining,
And then you say, oh, because you may lose election, you don't want to talk about it, or they will even push you to be lawless, all in the interest of votes that would end up in a coffin. Do we want to be burying people every weekend and all? Mr. Speaker, let me leave the rest for the leader of the House to put out for the records, and pray that that time will come for us to have a full discussion on this matter and send a strong message to the nation that enough is enough with the partisan approach on this Galamsey matter. Mr. Speaker.
Kweku, so after the minority leader has spoken, he threw the invite to the majority leader to also speak. We understand he made an announcement as to an MP being put before court. What are the details?
Well, yes, according to Majority Leader Muhammad, the Asutifi North MP, who is at the heart of this controversy and allegations of attack on NIMOS, has been put before the court. We do not have much details yet, but according to the Majority Leader, the MP presented himself to CID in the company of the Majority Chief Whip. He was interrogated and then arraigned, and subsequently we understand that he may have been granted bail or something of the sort. We do not have the details, but listen to the Majority Leader. Let's have the details in terms of what exactly happened.
So we scheduled that this morning the member should be sent to the CID headquarters to meet with one of the deputy CID directors for processing. And so this morning he went with our Majority Chief Whip and his lawyer. They received him at CID headquarters, took him through the processes, and I received a call not quite long ago that he has been taken to court, and as we speak, he is actually in court being arraigned. And so let me also indicate that as members of parliament, we do not consider ourselves being above the law. Mr. Speaker, what I know is that the honorable member has flatly denied the allegations made of he instigating some community members against the law enforcement agencies, the military and the police. And I also got a call from the senior member that you alluded to, Honorable Collins Dauda. He called me from South Africa, and indeed he was very surprised because it happened in his constituency, and he was very surprised about the report that the media has put out there about what really happened. He was also of the firm belief that the report that he received is consistent with the claims being made by the Honorable Member of Parliament that he never instigated members of the communities against the law enforcement agencies.
So those were the details being provided by the Majority Leader, Mahama Ayarga there. Now, we'll be speaking to lawyers of the Asutifi MP shortly, but my colleague Kenneth Gyasi joins me in studio with a statement from the opposition MPP in that particular constituency, Asutifi, where this particular incident happened. What are the highlights of this statement?
Well, let's go through briefly. It says that the Asutifi North MPP is expressing disappointment on the conduct of its Member of Parliament, that is Ebenezer Kweku Ado, on his alleged involvement in deploying thugs to attack NIMOS and its operations at Huidiem on Saturday, the 1st of November. And then they are making some demands. They say that among these demands are they want a collaboration with Newmont Ghana Gold to demarcate portions of its legitimate mining concession for Galamseyers and the general youth to do small-scale mining within 3 months of assumption of power. That is a promise that they are saying that this MP made, and the status of the promise, they say, still remains a dream. They say he also promised the completion of the MP's own hometown in Trosso highway bridge, which had been started and about 90% completion by the previous member of parliament, which has also not been done. They continue to say that it is imperative to state that while the Asutifi North New Patriotic Party, as well as other several constituents, are disgusted about such a shame, they are also not surprised about such an alleged criminal conduct of the Honorable MP, because deployment of thugs and his association with Galamsey boys have been his modus operandi before, during, and after the 2024 general elections. Again, parliamentary Hansard may have captured their MP, or in his first statement on the floor of Parliament as MP, supporting the youth of the constituency against some operations of Newmont, Ghana Gold, that is Ahafo, Kenyasi, and Introso. So these are excerpts of the statement that the New Patriotic Party branch in Asutifi North constituency have released, basically condemning the alleged actions of their MP, Ebenezer Kwekuado.
So those were the highlights from the MPP in that particular constituency. This is still top story here on Joy 99.7. And top story, as always, is brought to you by Telecel, connecting energies, holy insecticide spray and coil. Enjoy a holy sleep. And also by Shield Pension, trust into the future with you. Let me bring in the second deputy majority whip and also MP for Bia East, Richard Achampion. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. Now, do we know which court he was taken to? Because there are some fears out there that this won't go anywhere.
Today, my brother.
I'm trying to find out from you whether or not we know which court he was taken to.
Actually, I don't know the court that he has been taken to, but what I know is he reported to the CID headquarters. A statement was taken. He was granted bail, but he needs to fulfill some bail conditions. That was the latest information I had. So as to if he has been able to go through the process and then come out from the CID or still in the court, that one, I've not been briefed about it.
So you cannot tell where he is currently?
No, because about 30 or 1 hour ago, I got that briefing and I moved to another meeting. So I'm here to find out from other members if indeed he's taken to court or he's been able to go through the bail condition and is back either to the house or to the chamber. But I'm in the house now. I'm referring to Parliament House. But he is not with us as I speak. So I can find out where he is now or if he's been able to go through the conditions and is back home.
Now, police in their statement that they put out earlier said the MP reportedly arrived with a group of men and demanded their release. When his demand was refused, the group forcibly removed the suspect's handcuffs and chased the Naimos team from the scene. This is what the police is putting out there. We're now being told that the House wants to unite, wants this fight to be a united fight. What is it that the House would want to do to send that message to Ghanaians out there that we are not insulated if we are found guilty?
If you listen carefully to what the speaker said, he said members have some immunity, but it doesn't mean if you go doing something wrong, that immunity will cover you. You will be released and you face the full consequences of your actions and inactions. So if anybody tells you that because he's a member of parliament, he's going to be shielded or whatever, I don't think that was the communication from the speaker. Even any other member can petition the privileges committee, and that matter can still be investigated. But now it's before the security agencies. We should allow that process to end. If anyone is not satisfied, they can still petition the privileges committee. Because the issue is, where the issue happened, Honorable Ado is not a member of parliament of that area. So the issue is, Nobody is interested voting for him at that place. So who are you saving over there? If he had intervened in his own constituency, one can conclude that because of votes or because he wanted to show face for the people to have sympathy for him, that was the reason why he took those decisions. He was just attending his funeral, and then he chanced upon all these things. But the issue is, he could have also drove off. But I don't know what influenced his decision, but it has happened. So let's get the full details, listen to both sides, so that we can come to a better conclusion than to listen to one side and condemn the other party. You and I were not there. We don't know how the whole thing unfolded. But I ask myself, Achencia is not part of his constituency. So what is his motivation to do all these things? And within the space of, let's say, 5-10 minutes, how can you mobilize about 600 people to come attack the military officers or the security agencies? My worry is how the youth is taking up all these matters. A military officer who is holding gun, and you with a machete or a stone trying to attack a military officer, assuming they did not put their professionalism to play, and they decided to shoot randomly, what could have happened? So these are some of the matters we need to sit back and address. Because why do you put your life in danger? How much are you getting from the gold that you're extracting from the ground? How much?
Well,
To lose your life.
well, according to the police statement, these youth you're talking about were incited by the member of parliament.
I wasn't there, so I can't argue with the police officers who were there. They've made their case. The honorable member is also worried that all his interventions, nobody is acknowledging what he did, and rather we are blaming him. So let him face the CID, the security agencies, or the court. He will present his case. The security agencies will also present their case, and then the judge will be a determinant of all this, so that we'll come to a better conclusion. If it is concluded that the honorable member was at the center of everything, he caused all these problems, the law will deal with him. But until I hear from both sides, I can't jump to any conclusion. About 2 months ago, we went to Nimont, Kenya, mines. We followed up to their Sunyane mine, the new one that they are trying to establish. The MP is not a member of our committee, but he joined us. So I got to say that he has some in-depth knowledge about mining and all that because he has worked with them before. Maybe that motivated him to intervene. I don't know. For yesterday, I tried calling him. He couldn't respond to the call. Let the MP have his case, make his own submission, his presentation, and just support his statement with what the police have put out, so that all of us will read through between the lines and get to a better conclusion.
Okay.
I'm not defending anybody, and I'm not blaming anybody because I wasn't there when the issue happened. But let's give them the opportunity to make their case. The court will decide. So if somebody says to not go anywhere, I don't get it.
Okay. All right.
It's early this year.
I'm grateful to you. Richard Achampon is the second deputy majority whip in Parliament. This is still top story. Now, the police, according to their statement, says a mob not numbering about 600 allegedly incited by the MP later besieged the Redeem police station, demanding the release of the miners and seized the vehicles. The crowd vandalized the director's vehicle, damaged parts of the police station, and threatened to set it ablaze. And the police says reinforcement teams from the Afo Regional Command were deployed to restore order and to prevent further destruction. Now, calm was eventually restored through the joint effort of the police, the military, and the Zongo chief of Radium, who helped mediate the situation and facilitate the safe evacuation of the NIMOS team. And we're being told tonight that the member of parliament at the center of this has been arraigned before court. As to whether he's been able to secure bail, his colleague MP was not able to confirm. Let's bring in Deputy Ranking Member on Land and Natural Resources Committee, Konedu Akwesi. Grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. Now, from where you stand, how must this issue progress such that it could serve as a deterrent and show Ghanaians that indeed government, which includes parliament, is really committed to dealing with this Galamsey menace? Hello, Honorable Kunedu, do I have you?
Yes, you do.
Great. So I'm trying to find out from you. I mean, Parliament, we understand, now wants to get this fight, have a united front. And I'm asking from where you sit and what you know, how might this case progress to send that signal to Ghanaians that, in fact, Ghana is ready to confront this menace head on?
Let me thank you very much, and also thank your terrorist listeners, and say a very good evening to everyone. Yes, I mean, this story comes to me with a bit of slight and an uneasiness about what has happened at PDM and involving the Member of Parliament. As it stands now, first and foremost, let's just be clear as to what has happened. First and foremost, he denies, that is what today we're told, that he denies that he instigated the youth in doing what they did, to the extent that even the commander of NIMOS said he was threatened and afraid of his life. But what I say is this: what would engineer or what would inure to your benefit that when an operational activities of an organization or an outfit like NIMOS, which is trying to confront the menace of illegal mining activities in this country, even with the activities, some of us find it as not enough to curtail that illegal activity that is ongoing, to the extent that when they are even trying some way, somehow, you go there on what basis that somebody has been arrested, involved in an illegal activity, and therefore they are handing that person over. You go to intervene in what sense? If the person is innocent, you'll be innocent and set free. And for about 600 individuals to go to that extent of threatening the lives of these men and women who are trying to help us fight illegal activity, I think it's an unfortunate situation. And regardless of the fact that he is a member of parliament, we have no way of condoning that. Today, it was clear that first and foremost he's been invited by the police CID. We were told by the majority leader that as we spoke and sat in the chamber, he was in the court. Whatever he was doing in the court, I don't really know. Maybe probably he was being charged and was being given an opportunity of a bail condition or the rest. We are going to follow this matter through and through, because the point is this: for them to go that extent of even taking the keys and taking the handcuff off the hands of whoever was being arrested or apprehended by the NIMOS team, it's highly uncalled for. You are just blatantly giving people an opportunity that they should defy and go against the legally established. You see,
if you say you're going to follow it through and through, what exactly are you going to do?
First and foremost, whatever the case involves and what are the details of these cases and wherever this case ought to get to, because first and foremost, if we don't get to the bottom of this matter, if you remember at the beginning of this parliament, I think in the first session of this parliament, Mr. Speaker made a point that any member of parliament found to be involved in the matter of an illegal mining activities in this country, he was going to make sure that the full rigors of the law will be applied to that person, and even to the extent that that person may lose his seat. And therefore, if anybody has evidence to that effect, the person must provide that to him, and is going to carry it on from there. Now, this is the information that we have. Snippets of evidence are being given to us, to the extent that the police have invited a colleague member of parliament to that effect, that he mobilized mobs to attack the NIMOS. What we are going to do is this. We have to follow and make sure that if indeed there is an iota of truth in the matter, this matter ought not to rest, so that it serves as an example to other people. Are we going to say that if other people attack other state agencies or other organizations that are set out to help us fight these illegal activities, and they also mop up on the basis of the activity found to be true, that the member of parliament led that, how are we going to sustain the fight against illegal mining activities in this country? Our lives are in danger with these activities. Okay. And if an effort is being made, which is not even adequate, and you are able to lead people just to show them that you are representing them on the basis of what? You don't represent people by leading them into an illegal activity.
Okay.
That is uncalled for.
All right. I'm grateful to you. Kunedu Akwesi is Deputy Ranking Member on the Lands and Natural Resources Committee. Now, the police says it strongly condemns the attack and would like to caution against interference with law enforcement operations. And it concludes. The police concludes by saying that a special operation has been launched to identify and arrest perpetrators to face the full rigors of the law. We'll be keeping base with that particular one to know what exactly is happening. But there you have it. The police says they are committed to identifying all the people who have a hand in this and get them to face the law. The minority in parliament says they will also keep their keep tabs on this particular development, such that they will ensure that when the evidence that they have is proven in court, I'm sure they would ensure the right things are done. Now, some people have already started calling for the NDC to act and to even get this member of parliament out of the party because of this. This morning, Sayan made such a call saying that, well, looking at the evidence available, it's important the party even takes a bold stand to show that, in fact, they are committed to dealing with the Galamsey menace. Whether or not that is something that, will be supported, we will be taking a cue or will be focusing on it to see what happens. But let's bring in Awula Sewa, who is the coordinator for Eco-Conscious Citizens. Awula, I'm grateful to you.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, with what is happening, we are told that the MP has been arraigned before court. Right?
I'm sorry, the line is a bit faint. You're saying?
Awula, can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now.
Yeah, we are told that the MP at the center of this whole development has been arraigned before court.
Yes.
Is this one of the things you are looking out for?
I mean, it's a step in the right direction. All civil society and others were asking for was accountability. That if the facts as we were told are true, and that NAMOS, which is mandated to put an end to illegal mining, they were attacked, and that if it is true that a member of parliament was behind or inciting or part of these attacks, it's only right that the matter is strictly dealt with. So if indeed they've been arraigned before court, that's a step in the right direction. And we commend all involved in ensuring that the people of Ghana can see that justice can be done.
And does this meet your expectation as to how you expect this particular? I'm asking whether it meets your full expectation of how this matter. Citizens, Ghana. This has been Top Story, brought to you by Telecel Connect and Energies, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil Enjoy, Holy Sleep, and also by Shield Pension. Trust into the future with you. Up next is Newsnight.
Hello, good evening and welcome to Newsnight. Coming up tonight, government report sheds light on the alarming violence that marred Ghana's 2020 and 2024 elections, resulting in 15 deaths and 40 injuries, with the Interior Minister vowing to ensure accountability and prevent future electoral violence.
Identified 12 cases that took place during the 2020 and 2024 general election. These cases had resulted in 15 deaths across the country and well over 40 individuals got injured. The report outlined detailed account of all the 12 cases recorded during the period.
Also coming up, Vice Chairman and Ranking Member on Public Accounts Committee clash over a probe into the number of mining licenses issued under the John Mahama administration.
You push me. You push me. I never pushed you. To tell you what I'm here to ask the questions. That is my role as a member of parliament, yes, and also the vice chair on this committee. Yeah, so the 55. Honorable member, the 55. If I'm going to be the chairman of this place, let me be the chairman.
We got details as the Deputy Lands Minister Yusuf Suleimani reveals government has revoked 278 small-scale mining licenses under the previous administration.
But as I speak to you, just last week, about 278 small-scale mining licenses were revoked. A lot of irregularities that you cannot even resolve were the reasons why we have to revoke them.
In business,
oil marketing companies project further reduction in fuel prices in coming weeks if current performance of Cedi is sustained.
And Sports Minister Kofi Adams announces new stadium maintenance plans.
And a bit later, Chamber of Agribusiness Ghana calls for a national agricultural emergency following the alarming revelation that over 1.2 million metric tons of rice, maize and soya beans remain stranded across Ghana's agricultural heartlands.
We need to make sure that we are safeguarding the investment from farmers, the poor farmers of this country. We have provided an array of solutions that has been taken, and in the next Ghana should be achieving its rice sufficiency in the next 5 years.
You got the latest of these and many other stories coming up in the next 60 minutes. You can be a part of this show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
my name is Ofori.
Details after this.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela.
Kojo, I mean, sure, why? Tea cash, I know Papa
Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop.
Hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly, and send Telecel Cash for free to my dear ones.
We keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Make free Telecel Cash transactions every day, anytime, from your Telecel Cash wallet to your loved one's Telecel Cash wallet. Save on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me down my dark with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
No. You look so relaxed and cheerful these days. What's your secret?
No secret, Kofi. I just sorted out my retirement with Shield Pension Trust. You should talk to them.
Retirement? There's more time before pension.
Share. The earlier you start, the better. And Shield Pension Trust makes it so easy for you. They've got amazing plans to choose from. I even signed up for the Shield Cedi Crow a Day personal pension scheme, which lets you save as little as 1 Ghana Cedi a day towards your retirement. Isn't that great?
1 Cedi a day.
Exactly. And the best part is, I signed up automatically automatically on the Dachia Pomodin plan, which guarantees me medical insurance when I go on retirement.
Hey, you've convinced me. I need to sign up now.
Kofi is making a move to secure his future and health insurance when he goes on retirement. What about you? Go to Shield Pension Trust or call us now on 050-915-0253 and we'll guide you through securing your pension tomorrow. Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you.
Announcing Ghana's first unlimited photocopier leasing. Yes, from just 983 Ghana cedis, you can lease a multifunctional photocopier and print unlimited. Yes, unlimited and free paper every month. Guess what? That's not all. Toners, repairs, and maintenance all are free. And oh, I'm not kidding at all. And we cover the whole country. Yes, the whole country. What are you waiting for? Just visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. I repeat, or call 0244 644048. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Valix Lease, affordable document management solutions.
No matter where we are, Africa always calls us home. And here in Ghana, the call is clear: to power growth and create lasting impact. At Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, we are creating giants and connecting businesses. From financing bold energy projects to enabling cleaner, reliable power for industries, we are fueling Ghana's transformation. With our support, Gensa Energy is delivering sustainable energy that powers Goldfields operations, helping them move closer to cleaner, greener mining. This is a story of how we bring businesses together, create jobs, empower communities, and invest in the next generation. Stanbic Bank, delivering sustainable growth, creating impact. To learn more, visit stanbicbank.com.gh.
Many thanks for joining us this evening. Now, the Interior Minister, Muntaka Mohamed Mubarak, has revealed that violent incidents during Ghana's 2020 and 2024 general elections claimed 15 lives and left 40 others injured across several regions. A 13-member task force within the Criminal Investigations Department reviewed 12 fatal cases from both elections. Well, the report submitted to the president found that most of the deaths resulted from the use of live ammunition by security forces and clashes between rival party supporters. Government has pledged compensation for affected families and ongoing prosecutions for identified suspects.
Across various centers in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, elections in Ghana in recent times have been characterized by violence in various forms. In 2020 and 2024 general elections, we recorded some isolated incidents such as violence resulting in loss of lives. To address this recurrent and bring justice to the victims, the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, directed the formation of a special investigative task force to re-examine cases of electoral violence, fatalities, identify the causes, hold perpetrators accountable, and propose measures to prevent further occurrence. On January 16, 2025, the Inspector General of Police inaugurated a special task force within the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, of the Ghana Police Service. The mandate of the task force was to collaborate with the stakeholders to identify, review, and investigate all electoral violent cases that resulted in fatalities during the 2020 and 2024 general election. The Special Investigation Task Force identified 12 cases that took place during the 2020 and 2024 general election. These cases had resulted in 15 deaths across the country, and well over 40 individuals got injured. The report outlined detailed account of all the 12 cases recorded during the period.
Muntaka Mubarak also revealed that the investigative task force uncovered disturbing evidence of excessive force by both police and military personnel during election security operations in 2020 and 2024. At least 7 deaths were directly linked to live rounds fired by security teams attempting to control the crowds. The Interior Ministry's report cited poor coordination, indiscipline and disregard for standard crowd control procedures.
This incident spanned multiple regions, including Bono East, Greater Accra region, Bono region, Northern region, Central region, Savannah, and Asante region. The circumstances of each case vary, but nearly all involve the use of firearms during confrontation between supporters of the two major political parties and instances where security personnel resorted to the use of live ammunition, warning shots as means of crowd control. Investigation into one of the cases during the 2020 general election at Ododo was completed. The Attorney General is currently prosecuting 3 persons who are standing trials at the High Court Criminal Division, Accra. The investigation established that 3 of the cases resulting in 4 deaths are traceable to the use of firearms by armed police patrol teams. Military personnel were also found to be responsible for 3 of the cases resulting in the death of 3 persons when they intervened to restore calm to chaotic crowds. Investigation further established that 4 of the cases, which resulted in 5 deaths, were recorded when party enthusiastic supporters resorted to the use of firearms against their opponent. The 2 other cases involve persons who were lynched during confrontation between supporters of the 2 major parties. It is worth noting that 21 suspects have been identified through witness interview, scene visit, reconstruction of crime.
Now, investigations into the 2020 and 2024 election-related deaths have led to the identification of 21 suspects across the country. And so far, according to Muntaka Mubag, 4 have been arrested, 5 remanded, and warrants have been issued for those still on the run. The suspects include political operatives and individuals linked to violent confrontations at coalition centers.
It is worth noting that 21 suspects have been identified through witness interview, scene visit, reconstruction of crime and crime scene, and forensic and ballistic examination of material of evidence relevant to the cases. 11 new dockets have been built on the cases. 4 of the identified suspects have been arrested and admitted to police inquiry bills to facilitate further investigation and to trace their accomplices. 5 other identified suspects have been remanded in prison custody. Warrants of arrest have been procured to facilitate the arrest of some of the identified suspects who are on the run. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, the 2020 investigation reports are as follows. Techima South, that's Techima South constituency in Techima. The observation of the task force are as follows: that the injury could have been avoided had the security personnel not resorted to the use of live ammunition for crowd control. The use of firearms by security personnel was not done under the command of a senior officer who could have ensured that appropriate rules of engagement were observed. Security personnel, especially the police patrol teams at the collation center, fired indiscriminately, and in some cases, they directed fire at the escaping crowd.
Apologies for the poor quality of sound there, but let's go onto the telephone lines right now and speak to security consultant Professor Kwesi Enin. Thank you very much for your time this evening. You've been listening in on to what the Interior Minister said earlier, and he says that most of the election deaths, that is almost half, resulted from live ammunition which were fired by security forces. Really, what does this say about the professionalism and preparedness of Ghana's security agencies, especially during crucial elections like those that happened in 2020 and 2024?
Well, I think it paints a very disturbing picture of what ought to be national security forces closely tying individual career prospects and interests to the outcome of a particular election and how that election turns out for a particular political party. So people misbehave deliberately to send a signal to their political government that we are willing to flout the rules on your behalf. Now, if military-grade bullets are used as a means of crowd control, then we should be very concerned about election 2028, because we know that several thousand rounds of ammunition, military-grade ammunition, cannot be accepted, supposedly given to national security. Finally, is the difficulty for the Ghana Police Service in undertaking crowd control. Since the 90s all through to the 2000s, it still struggles with crowd control. And every time to control crowds, and we saw that with the Okujito report that arose out of the Accra Stadium disaster. And it seems as if they haven't learned very much about how to use tear gas, how to use alternative forms of crowd control. So I'm very happy the minister has identified all these, and hopefully something can be done that's verifiable prior to election 2020. But I'm not very.
Professor Enin, speaking of crowd control from a security management perspective, really, where does the failure really lie? Is it with field officers or at the command level?
Across all levels. One is the quality of the training in terms of crowd control. Second is the knowledge, access to, and use of crowd control techniques. So almost every time that the police must control crowds, their first resort is either to misuse the tear gas, to fire it wrongly into the wrong part of the crowd, or basically also to use live bullets. So the training must be looked at very critically. So it's not easy to blame individual officers who made mistakes because they like the training. There are a few bad guys who will do or who will undertake the deliberate mistake because it sends a signal to their political godfather. But as a whole, it's about leadership. It's about access to training material, better supervision, and better, control, basically.
All those two elections, the one in 2020 and 2024, obviously were very crucial elections. How much of this violence do you believe is linked to political pressure on security forces that made them do that?
As far back as 1969, there was a particular report, the Young report, and a subsequent one done by Boy, the Boys Review. Both reports have recommended the establishment of a Ghana police force. Those days the word was that was insulated from political control, political meddling. The subsequent action committee report also made recommendations to ensure that the service was insulated. But over time, people's personal expectations for promotion. We saw about 2 years ago this commissioner of police who came out blatantly in support of the new patriotic party and misbehaved in ways that you wouldn't expect a senior police officer to behave. So the institutional culture that insulates the service from political meddling over time has been undermined. Upright officers have been transferred, some demoted, and particularly when exams are made. If you read the Bureau report about extreme cases also of favoritism within the service system.
All right, Professor Kosieni, I want to thank you very much for your time this evening. That's a security consultant. Let's still stay on the telephone lines and bring in Tanko Rashid Computer, who's the Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the governing National Democratic Congress. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Of course, the Interior Minister's report has cited political actors' involvement in this particular clashes and which resulted in deaths. Really, there are concerns and fears that if some high-ranking members within the NDC, for instance, are implicated, they might be shielded. Will the NDC be willing to avail anybody who is implicated in this report? Mr. Rashid Tanko Computer, can you hear me? Right, Rashid Tanko Computer is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the National Democratic Congress, who is joining us on the telephone lines right now to talk about the Interior Minister's report, which cited that about 14 persons, or 15 actually, died in election-related violence in the elections of 2020 and 2024 there, and they've cited that the police and the military were complicit. They fired live ammunitions, which resulted in 7 deaths. And of course, the minister has also indicated that they're currently on a manhunt for about a dozen of them. 20 of them, as we speak right now, are on the run. We have Rashid Tanko Computer back on the telephone line right now. Rashid, grateful for your time this evening. This report says that political actors also have been implicated. There are concerns and worries that if a high-ranking official, for example, from your party is implicated to have been involved in the death and violence that ensued in the 2024 and 2020 elections, you will shield them. Are you going to promise us that anybody that is implicated at the hierarchy of your party will be availed to the police and prosecutors?
Very well, let me say good evening to you and your cherished listeners. I think the report is very clear. We said this time and again, since 2020, we've been calling for this kind of investigation. But the actors then, the then administration, knew what was going on and was bent on shielding the perpetrator of such heinous crimes. Thankfully, we have now gotten a better government in place, and this investigation has been carried out. The truth is now coming. I can assure you, the NDC as a political party is very mindful about electoral violence and its impact on our democracy. We're very, very mindful about it. So we're very careful about the way we approach elections and all that. And we said this time and again that the MPP were so reckless. The way they were using the state security to deal with issues of elections was terribly bad, unprecedented. So I'm not surprised with this kind of report. Well, I'm not surprised at all that this thing has now come home and everybody is now seeing it. And we stand by the Interior Minister and the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to deal with these people decisively, because under our watch, it won't happen. Just look at the number of people they killed just in order to get themselves elected into office. Why? Election too, you're going to be killing innocent Ghanaians. What we said is they were thinking that we're lying, and then they will rubbish everybody. They'll go and do their kokofu committees and rubbish everybody. Now the chicken has come home to roost.
Mr. Rashid Tanko Computer, it's good you mentioned that under your watch this would not happen. So several of the incidents reportedly occurred at coalition centers. Now, what concrete steps is the NDC, your party controls the security apparatus in the country, what concrete steps is the NDC taking to ensure that your agents and supporters avoid confrontations and indeed maintain calm in future elections?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Time and again, we invest heavily in training of our political actors, our election officials. We invest heavily in that, in training. And so our officers are very careful when they are at polling stations. You hardly see party activists, officials of the party will go to polling stations and misbehave, or collation centers and misbehave, because they have been trained and they understood very well the dictates of elections and its management. Unlike our opponents, they don't train. They rather rely on the state security to kill people. That's what they do. That is their problem. They go there and mess up everybody at the polling station. They don't invest in training their officials. So the officials will go to polling stations and they ask you ignorant questions. And that will trigger all manner of activities over there. That has an impact on security at polling stations and collection centers. For the NDC, I can assure you, we will continue to invest in training our people and making sure that they understand the dictates of elections, and that will be the peaceful nature at the polling stations. And that is why if you look at all the by-elections we have gone so far under our watch, nobody died. Nobody has been named.
Mr. Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, thank you so much for speaking to us on Newsnight.
Right, you can join this conversation by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. Share your thoughts with us. The grim picture that the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak has painted to us earlier today is that 15 people lost their lives due to election-related violence in elections 2020 and 2024, and more than 30 of them have also been injured, and the state is obviously on a manhunt for those people. We just heard from the NDC's Rashid Tanko Computer. It's now time to hear from the MPP, and the Director of Research and Elections with the New Patriotic Party, Evans Nimakon, is on the line to speak to us. Thank you very much for your time this evening. These elections happened during the time when the MPP were in power. And of course, these statistics show that the security forces their actions resulted in about half of these deaths. The concerns are that really, were they acting on the instructions of the party, or perhaps these were actions that could have been prevented if they really did not fear that any action contrary that they take could result in them being transferred or anything otherwise, due to the fact that the MPP was the one in charge of the security in the country.
Well, Evans, thank you for having me, and good evening to you. I think when
Mr. Nimakum, I'm losing you. Can you hear me?
Put to astray the proper contestation of it has engaged the people of Ghana on issue of electoral violence. For me, we must not we extended.
Mr. Nimakon, your line is pretty bad. If you can kindly reposition yourself. Unfortunately, we have lost him there. His line is quite bad, but he was making a point, and of course we try to get him on our subsequent bulletins for him to be able to make his point. It's now time for business, and George Riafe is here with the latest. And of course, George, there's a lot happening in the world of business. What do you have for us this evening?
Well, what I have for you this evening is that oil marketing companies are projecting further reduction in fuel prices in coming weeks if the current performance of the Ghana cedi is sustained. And Volta-River Authority targets 1,800 megawatts boost to sustain power export gains. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all your office essentials, Centers tanks, and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal.
Hey, Ruben. Every 2 seconds notification. The Momo keeps on coming. It keeps on coming, eh?
Ma, I am the community Momo man now. People send money, and with the Momo app, every payment is done. My transactions are flying.
Hey, I then.
Ah, ma, you didn't know, eh?
Over 2 million Ghana cedis is up for grabs in the Still Mensah promo. Transact more than 100 Ghana cedis with your Momo app, and you could win daily, weekly, and monthly cash prizes, and 100,000 Ghana cedis grand prize. And it's not just payments and money transfers. Bank to wallet transactions, savings, loans, investments, pensions, POS transactions, and Momo transactions from other partner platforms qualify. This promo runs in collaboration with the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery and equipment. Visit our head office, Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Temania Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Centerpoint Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
At Star Oil, we believe fuel is not just a commodity, it is a lifeline. Every cedi saved at the pump is a cedi that helps a mother send her child to school, a farmer transports food to the market, or a young entrepreneur deliver their first order. Our mission is to make fuel more accessible by offering consistently competitive prices, helping ease the financial burden on Ghanaian households. In a country where transportation costs can consume nearly a third of household income, this is not just business. It's a social responsibility. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
For many years, we've been solving Ghana's water storage problems with quality tanks. Syntex tank. You know, it is strong, it's tough, and reliable. And now, we're in to solve the #1 problem when it comes to water carriage: our pipes. With the state-of-the-art machinery, Syntex is providing very strong, tough, reliable, high quality, and durable pipes at a reasonable price. This is Syntex Pipes. With Syntex Pipes, water flows wow. I mean, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. If they carry water, no wahala. With Syntex Pipe, our water problems are solved. Syntex, are you strong? Are you tough?
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because the Luckiest Season 3 is back.
and I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's maths we love. Or your community will win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Every mosquito study run away.
This advert is FDA approved.
You're welcome back to Business on News Night. Now, some of the oil marketing companies are projecting further reduction in fuel prices in the coming weeks. Now, that is if the city's current performance against the dollar is sustained going forward. There is more in the following report.
A look at the numbers has shown that prices of petroleum products within 1 month and a week, that is from October this year, have gone down by almost 10%. The development can be described as a record when it comes to price reviews at the pumps and the margin of reduction. This has been influenced by the city's sharp appreciation against the dollar in October and declining crude prices, as well as finished petroleum products on the market. The country window has even shown that some oil marketing companies have reduced prices by more than what industry data had projected. Some of the oil marketing firms have told Joy Business that if oil-producing countries set to marginally increase production in the coming weeks, crude prices could fall further, that is if the city is able to sustain its current good run. If that happens, we could be assured of another drastic reduction in fuel prices at the pumps in the coming weeks. Under the current price deregulation policy, price of petroleum products are supposed to be reviewed every 2 weeks. So, we are set for another review at the pumps on November 16, 2025, and if the current variables are maintained, then consumers should brace themselves for a huge drop in prices at the pumps. This could go a long way to help reduce the prices of goods and services and the overall cost of living.
And that is a Business Desk report. Now, Voter Authority says it is working to add up to 1,800 megawatts of power to Ghana generation capacity over the next 5 years. Now, this is expected to strengthen the country's position in the regional power export market. Speaking to Joy Business at the authority's annual stakeholder meeting, Board Chairman Jabesh Mishata said the plan aligns with the authority's long-term growth and sustainability agenda.
We will add on quite a lot. We will target to try to meet all the increase in demand in the country and maintain our export position as well. So we are talking about currently the estimate is that every year the country needs to add about 350 megawatts. So we'll be looking at doing that. So in the next 5 years, we should be adding something like 1,600, 1,800 megawatts.
Board Chairman of the Voter Authority, Jabesh Emisa Arthur. And the Bank of Ghana has announced that it will commence its Monetary Policy Committee meetings aimed at reviewing development in the economy ending this month. Details in this report.
The central bank, in a notice released today, says it hopes to start the 3-day Monetary Policy Committee meeting on Monday, November 24 to Wednesday, November 26. It is hoping to announce decisions taken at the meeting, including the new policy rate and the state of Ghana's economy when it comes to debt, revenue and expenditure. There are strong indications that the policy rate, which currently stands at 21.5%, could be cut again. influenced by another drop in inflation for the month of October this year, consolidating the single-digit rate achieved earlier this year. Inflation rate, which currently stands at 9.4%, could go down again when the Ghana Statistical Service releases the rate later this week. Many will be looking forward to seeing how the commercial banks will respond when the Bank of Ghana cuts its key lending rate at its meeting later this month. Some have argued that even though the cost of credit to businesses has reduced, lending, on the other hand, has not been influenced by the current liquidity squeeze, fueled by the Bank of Ghana's quest to try and check inflation.
And that is a Business Desk report. Now, United Bank for Africa Ghana has revealed that it will soon roll out new set of strategies and measures that would aid its growth and presence in critical sectors of the country. The move is part of its regional strategy to make the bank the number one in every market that it operates. Oliver Alauba is the Group Chief Executive for United Bank for Africa.
We are the first bank that spoke so much about service delivery in Ghana. And Ghana is a very important market for us. We believe that we should be in every province in Ghana. We believe that we should elevate Ghana's service delivery in the banking space through digitalization process. We believe we need to link up Ghana businesses to all the present countries where we are in, cross-border business. We believe that with the progress we are seeing in Ghana today, UBA should take it to the next level. So Ghana is a very important country. Meanwhile, for me personally, I was former MDC of UBA Ghana, so I'm very passionate about the country.
And that is the Group Chief Executive of United Bank for Africa, Oliver Alauba. To the stock market, MTN led the pack of losers at the end of trading on the Ghana Stock Exchange today. Telecoms giant lost 11 pesos and is now worth 4 Ghana cedis, 5 pesos. Cowbank also lost 3 pesos to close at 42 pesos. Shareholders of Mensah oil palm plantation should be smiling today as they witness one of the biggest spike in prices at the end of trading, going up by 2 Ghana cedis, 55 pesos. It is now worth 41 pesos. That is 41 Ghana cedis, 55 pesos. In terms of returns on the market, now it stands at 69%, far better than other investment instruments currently on the market. And that's all for business on Newsnight. Back to you, Kenneth.
Well, thank you very much, George. It's now time for sports.
Let's go straight into our stories. And the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, says facilities maintenance manual has been developed to improve the upkeep of sports stadia nationwide. He made this known earlier today when he appeared for the Public Accounts Committee following concerns raised in the Auditor General's 2019 report about the absence of a clear maintenance policy for national sports facilities.
There were a number of the contractors. Some of these stadia facilities were constructed many years ago. Some levels of renovations have been done. The most recent, you have Micheletti, Consa, who have done some work or the other. So the parts that they do, they get involved in, Mr. Chairman, they always give us a manual. But you cannot have the entire manual for the stadium as it was from freshly constructed for most of these facilities. So what we have done is to develop a standard one for all of these facilities that we have based on the best practices which we are using.
We are the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, speaking there. Now, the Ghana Football Association has announced plans to organize a testimonial match in honor of Black Stars, former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan. The country's football governing body says the match will celebrate his illustrious and immense contribution to Ghana football, and with further details expected to be announced in due course. Gyan retired back in 2023 following 2 years of inactivity at the age of 37. Now, the UEFA Champions League continues later tonight. The featured game between Liverpool and Real Madrid. That's a repeat of the 2022 final. There'll be live commentary on Hits 103.9.
Daniel, who is your money on that particular match?
Real Madrid.
I know. I mean, from a Manchester United supporter, I wouldn't expect anything else. Pearl, let's go to Parliament now.
Now, tonight, a heated exchange erupted at the Public Accounts Committee as the vice chairman and ranking member clashed, following an investigation into the current government's mining licensing regime led by President John Dramani Mahama. The confrontation was triggered when Vice Chairman Davis Opoku-Ansah questioned Deputy Lands Minister Yusuf Suleiman about the fate of small-scale mining licenses issued under the previous government and how many have been granted in the past 11 months. We'll hear the exchange between the two lawmakers shortly, but first here is the Deputy Minister explaining the outcome of investigations into more than 900 licenses issued under the NPP administration.
People had concessions when they didn't need it. There's evidence where some people have concessions that they didn't need it. They didn't even know where the land is. And so we have reviewed the small-scale licenses, like I said earlier on. About 1,200, close to 1,300 licenses were reviewed. And when we reviewed them, about 907 irregularities or infractions were identified. We further checked and realized that some were administrative in nature. And so those that were administrative in nature, we asked Minerals Commission to resolve them themselves, which they did. We found out that even in so many cases where the officers had said that don't go ahead, these are the reasons why I'm asking you not to go ahead, some officers went ahead and approved and gave out those concessions. We have revoked them and we challenge them to take us to court.
Well, my colleague James Aveji is at the proceedings for us and joins us via telephone. James, what exactly was the Deputy Chairman trying to find out after this explanation?
He was trying to get a clear figure, an exact figure from the Deputy Minister on the number of licenses this government has issued so far on the back of the fact that they have revoked over 278 of the previous licenses.
Can you, as a ministry, Minerals Commission, EPA, publish for the consumption of this country mining firms whose licenses have been revoked? We need to know. We want that publication done.
I think last week, those that we revoked, if you check in the dailies, I'm not very sure, but on our website and on other platforms, we publish all of them, 278 of them. I can send a soft copy of those ones to you so that you can share to your other friends so that it will go far. And I'm saying that sooner or later, large-scale companies, those who have gone to take lands, they've gotten the, licenses, and they're now running around to get people to come and invest. When people are holding resources and they want to go and do business, they're not getting space. We'll revoke them.
James, and how did this degenerate into a clash between the two lawmakers?
So the failure of the minister to mention the specific number of licenses that have been issued forced the deputy chairman to insist that he give the figures. He said he wants some time to produce that, and his insistence drew the ranking member of the committee who insisted that the minister be given the time, and led to a back and forth between him and the deputy ranking.
How many of the licenses have you given out? 0, 10, 20, 100. We want to know.
So when it comes to small-scale licenses, I cannot, as I sit here, give you any figure. I cannot give you any figure. Chairman, I just confirmed with my CEO and our, we swore an oath, right? And we are serious and patriotic citizens sitting here. We will not want to give you any information that will contradict what we have in our data. And so if you want us to give you accurate information, give us by close of day. We will print it out and come and give it to you today. But we don't have it here and we're not guests. Okay, but just to put on record.
Yes.
I told my acting CEO that we should not conjecture any figure. You know why? After the December general election, we are asking about the number of lances that we have given in this year. Is that not the case? After the elections, immediately after the elections, just 4 days for the new president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to be sworn in, 55 licenses were signed. So if you are talking about new ones that were signed, we can begin from there. That at least 55 were signed. We'll go and add whatever that we have added and bring it to you.
Minister, the interesting thing is that you remember the licenses that were issued 4 days to the expiration of the previous government.
Yes, in a row.
But you don't remember the number of licenses you have issued.
James, and how was this issue resolved?
Well, after the back and forth, the deputy chairman walked out of the committee room while the proceeding was still ongoing and came back later to join the proceedings. It is unclear whether he's going to have any discussions with the ranking member on the committee, but as far as the committee level is concerned, the proceedings were concerned, there was no further interaction between the two on this particular matter before the rules for today.
James Aveji, and he joined us from the Public Accounts Committee sittings. Now let's speak to a member of our research team here at Joy News, Caleb Ziblim. Now, Caleb, you've been looking at the websites of the Ministry of Lands and the Minerals Repository. What have you found in terms of new mining licenses?
From January 2025, that's after the swearing of President Mahama, we have 35 mining-related licenses that have been issued. 35.
Okay.
And if you are talking of only mining licenses, we have 13. So since the swearing of John Mahama as president, we had 13 mining licenses issued. If you add the prospecting and reconnaissance license, we have 15 of them. So we have 2 more. And then if you add the support licenses, and for support, we have some people doing topsoil removal, some people doing civil works, and some people doing construction and consultancies for the mining firms. If you add all those ones, we have 35 mining related licenses. But then if it's only mining licenses, we have 13 of them. Yeah. So that's if for after January 2025. And if you want to go back to the whole of 2025, we have 64 mining licenses only from January, the whole of January. And if you take out the 51 or so, that happened in the first 7 days of this year. And then the other 13 happened after January 7th.
Caleb Ziblim, thank you very much. He's with our research desk here at Joy News. Let's still stay in Parliament because the Speaker of the House, Bagbin, has revealed a chilling account of how he was stripped of almost all his privileges and entitlements as the third gentleman of the land during the 8th Parliament. The Speaker was elected Speaker of the Hang 8th Parliament, serving as the first Speaker who did not belong to the governing party. His election saw what many described as the darkest night in Ghana's parliamentary history when an MP distracted the process, bolting with papers in the full glare of the cameras. Well, the incident drew several and severe public criticism, with many, including civil society organizations, calling for a probe. We'll hear more on what other things transpired during his reign, but first listen to him open up for the first time during a meeting with editors of various media houses on why he has never constituted a committee to investigate the incident.
We are bringing a new bill to also look at the parliamentary transition. We passed a law, and that is one of the reasons I said what I said earlier on, that we're passing laws for the executive, forgetting about parliament. So we passed a Presidential Transition Act, but there is no law governing the transition of parliament. And you all saw what happened on the 7th of January 2021, because that was a peculiar situation where you have a hung parliament, and there was a serious struggle to get me, coming from a party that is not in government, to be a speaker of people in government. That is something that is being debated by most of you. But I know and I'm convinced that the reasons why we did not set up a committee to go into that thing is in the national interest. And that is why all have come talking to me. I said no. Anyway, I wasn't the speaker then.
Right, so that's the Speaker of Parliament, Bagbin, right there.
And you know that sound. It's NSMQ and 3 attempts, 1 boy, 1 dream to end Opokuwari School's 23-year NSMQ drought. Now, Stephen Barr first stunned the nation when, as a fresh Form 1 student, he led his school to the grand finale in 2023. He fell short, stumbled again the following year, but today the Wonder Boy is back on the biggest stage. One last shot at history. Jacqueline and Somaya Bois has been engaged in the young man and reports.
Stephen Kofi Apema Barr's story is already written in the National Science and Maths quiz history books as the first ever Form 1 student to represent Opokuwari School back in 2023 when his team fought their way to the finals.
Stephen Kofi Apema Barr, you are the first Form 1 student, the youngest contestant to compete at the National Championship of the National Science and Maths quiz.
He returned in 2024 only to face heartbreak when Opokuwari fell at the quarter-final stage. He admits that moment broke him.
Last year, after we were kicked out by Ghana National in the quarterfinals, initially I just felt blank. So, I had no passion for anything whatsoever. So, initially it was in my mind that I should just give up.
But this year, 2025, Stephen is back, not just with knowledge, but with fire.
Your major question with the same preamble. Aluminium hydroxide, 7.
2Al, open brackets, OH, close brackets, subscript 3. Going into Al2O3 plus 3H2O.
That's right.
He's calm, focused, and precise. The kind of contestant who doesn't flinch under pressure. Some say he looks too serious.
Right, and that's the inspiring story of Stephen there. Let's read a few of your messages that you've been sending to us. This is Major One from Kumasi. It says, Rashid Tanko, computer's utterances are very provocative. Was he not one of those NDC leaders who led their thugs to attack innocent people and also vandalize the EC electoral materials and equipment after the 2024 elections? This was also coming from Francis. It says, it is revealing to hear what Muntaka has put out as the investigation findings. This is Prince Henry from Kaswa. He says, Mr. President, Ghanaians will expect nothing less than swift prosecution of the MPs who mobilized thugs to attack the NIMOS if found guilty of the alleged offenses. And that's how we end Newsnight tonight. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi.
My name is Ofori.
But right after Newsnight, though, is Gig Squad and Adobia is in the studio. Adobia, what are we discussing tonight?
We're going to be talking about DNS outages. I mean, DNS is domain name system. And so basically, if you have your favorite website, you wake up one morning, you try to access it, and you are not able to access it.
Right.
What could be wrong when it comes to the DNS? That's what we'll be explaining for our show tonight.
That should be an interesting conversation. Enjoy.